The average cost of fueling a car is now about 20,000 naira, about double of what it used to be before petrol subsidy was removed. Public transport fare reflects this. Routes intra-Lagos states such as Berger to Marina now cost 400 naira from 200 naira, and that's on the government mass transit. Lagos to Asaba is now 38,000 naira from about 20,000 naira. Lagos to Yola is now about 25,000 naira from 18,000 naira, and Yola to Abuja is now 15,000 naira from 7,000 naira. Same applies to keeping generators operational, a necessity in the face of poor electricity supply from the national grid. Small business owners attest to this.
Demands have reduced.
If you want to make gain of 500 naira, maybe at the end of the business, you sell 3 or 4 items and make 1.5 as your gain.
The federal government is not unaware of these consequences of what many economists have termed a necessary hard decision of ending the petrol subsidy regime.
So what I will say the immediate impact is an escalation in the cost of doing business. That's for businesses, and especially those whose operations depend largely on petrol, what they call PMS. So, and even if it is petrol dependent, that cost could spike maybe between 15 and 70%, in the sense that the smaller an enterprises, the greater most likely will be the impact. We now come to individuals and households, as we call them in economics. By all means, again, the cost of living will escalate. And of course, this will fall in terms of what they spend most of their money on.
Consequently, President Bola Tinubu has charged the newly inaugurated National Economic Council, led by the Vice President, to draw up workable plans that will ameliorate the harsh impact of the subsidy removal. There's also another group made up of trade unions and government representatives which has been meeting to initiate and implement palliatives for the same purpose. The group is working with a deadline of 8 weeks from June the 19th. The demands of the Trade Union Congress include minimum wage should be increased from the current 30,000 naira to 200,000 naira, setting up of intervention fund where government will be paying 10 naira per litre on all locally consumed PMS. Federal government should provide mass transit vehicles for all categories of the populace. Provision of subsidy directly for food items.
We need to have a presidential steering committee that will oversee everything. Then we also need to have technical subcommittees because, for example, when you talk about the issue of CNG, so the issue of CNG, you need experts. The issue of CNG, you need those people that are willing to invest in the issue of CNG. You need the National Oil Company, NNPC Limited, to come up with what they need to do and the time with which they are going to deliver.
In the meantime, economists have been sharing suggestions of what they believe are low-hanging fruits.
Government cannot say we are not going to collect taxes because taxes is a primary way of also getting revenue. But they could have something like a tax break. And for you to have a tax break, you have to be registered. So if I run a company today and I say I want to take part in this palliative process, then I need to register. If I register, let's say over the next 6 months or so, whilst we are struggling and making things to balance, then government can give me some tax concessions.
States have also been drawn into the need to provide succor for their residents. Edo and Kwara state governments have reduced working days in their states to 3 to reduce transportation costs for individuals. While for Ogun State Governor, there is a committee that's saddled with this responsibility.
There's no doubt that as government, it will be very ambitious for us to even begin to imagine that we will have a solution that would totally compensate 100% for this price differential. Whatever options that we agree on would only go a long way into reducing the impact, not totally eliminating it.
It's over a month since the new price of petrol has been effected and subsidy regime ended. Nigerians are eagerly waiting for the proposed palliatives to be effected to buffer the aftermath. Imi John Mekwa, Channels Television News.